8. Those are the counts you would hear when you walk into a cheerleading gym. Cheer is a sport only when you go to competitions. For example, my cheer team right now is going to go to a competition in Dallas, a UIL competition for school, and we're going to compete against 70 teams. And most people say that school cheer is not a sport, but since we go to competitions, we're considered a sport. Competitive cheer is always like doing competitions, that's what they've worked for. There are many different levels of cheerleading. There's level 1, 2, 3, 4. For level 1, you don't really have to have flips. Level 2, you need to have like a back walkover. And level 3, 4, 5, and 6, you have to be able to have at least a back handspring and just very complicated skills. The definition of a sport is an activity, physical exertion, and skill in which an individual or team competes against each other. Cheerleaders train for weeks and months just to be the best they can be and to win at their competition, because they compete against so many teams, it's hard to actually win the whole thing. They do more than one practice a week and 4 to 5 hours of practice a day, for if you do it like 2 days a week or something. Injuries caused during cheer can have very long-term effects. If you're tumbling and you hurt your knee and you pull a ligament and have to have surgery or rip something, you probably are done with cheer for the rest of your life, and which would really be bad for people who really love cheer. Injuries are football injuries happen way less than cheer injuries. If you're stunting, you can get a concussion, break your nose, and when you're tumbling, you can break any bone in your body. You just never know. When cheering, it is very prone for you to tear your ACL, your meniscus, or anything in your body if you don't do something correctly. And when you do that, you are done with cheer. Cheer takes a lot of talent and dedication, and if you don't have that, then there's no way you can be a cheerleader. Personally, I think all cheer is a sport because we all do many different things, either for the school or, and we all stunt, which is hard, and we all are working very hard to just promote our school spirit. And competitive cheerleaders work, I'm not saying as hard, we don't work as hard as them, but we do work very hard, but they work just a little bit harder. Cheering has to be very precise. You have to be in the right formation, on the right line, on the right count, or it just doesn't all come together. And if you mess up, you need to keep going. You don't need to just act like, oh, I messed up and freeze. You need to just keep it going, because then people might not know you messed up because there's lots of different things going on the floor at once. It takes a lot of energy, and you need to be in shape, because when you get out there and you compete and you get off that floor, you are out of breath like crazy. Which is probably one of the best feelings as a cheerleader. You work all season for just 2 minutes on a mat, and when you hit it, which means you hit everything, like all stunts hit, all tumbling hit, the routine was on like perfect, and you got 0 deductions, which means the judges didn't take off any points from your routine. And that feeling you get after that is just the best feeling ever. And cheer is such a great sport, and we have a class period just like any other athletic sport. So